Yep. Thank you so much. It's okay. Yeah. Okay. So before I talk about what's going on with my project, I want to know how many of you had written a Python library before? Oh, good. How many of you had written a library that people can download and use? So how many of you want to get more contributors and be more popular? Yes. Okay. So yeah, today I'm going to talk about how to run an open source project successfully. It's just my point of view. I won't say that my library is very successful, but I think during like what I've tried to do, then I learned a lot, and I want to kind of give you some of my experience that like maybe something that you could think about doing and something that maybe you don't want to do. And also, it's an open source project that I'm talking about. So, is it an enterprise? Is it not? But, it's kind of like building a startup, but, of course you won't get money out of it. But if you get really successful, you may turn it into a business, but that's another talk. So yeah, I'm Cheuk, or you can call me Cherry. So, I'm from London. So in London, I organize meetups like London Python Sprint, which encourage people to contribute to open source. So I'll tell you, what benefit I get from it. And also I run an AI club for gender minorities, which, we try to promote inclusion and diversity. This year, EuroPython, I am also involved in the committee. So I was helping to, organize it. Also I've contributed to other open source projects, some of them more contribution, some of them like a minor contribution, but I learned a lot from them. Especially I would want to give a shout to Date Util. It was the first project that I contributed to, and the maintainer, Paul, he's a super nice guy, and I learned so much from him and from the project, so, which is great. I create PicknMIx, which is the project that I got to talk about today. And I also volunteer for DSC, which is also a committee within non-focus to promote diversity. So yeah, I was a bit crazy. I was writing, using Python, write some code, and I work as a data scientist, but I'm always interested in doing some, Python software development. So I give myself a challenge. Can I build something and then to be an open source maintainer? So yeah, this is the story of how I become a developer, kind of, a marketing person, kind of, a project manager, maybe, for free. So yeah, like all startups, all these like projects, I think we need a good idea. So, well, I have an idea and I think it's a good idea. I don't know whether you agree, but, I think it's a good idea. So, if you are like me, data scientist, or you're into machine learning, then you have maybe known about scikit-learn. So scikit-learn is a library that is provide a lot of machine learning models that you can train and you can use, and it's a very powerful tool, and I love them. So, and in machine learning, there's also a technique called stacking. It's kind of help you to, in some cases, make a better prediction. So, I was thinking about, cause, I did a course long time ago, and I was trying to build my own stacking, and I have to, use all this training data and try to, fit into different ones. And, it's kind of like, complicated and not as easy as just using scikit-learn models. And, I was thinking, can I make it easier? Cause a lot of steps, I can imagine it could be quite similar, like, again and again with similar thing. So yeah, if that's the case, if you're writing code that do similar things, write a library for it. So that's what I did. So yeah, and then I also get inspiration from Keras and TensorFlow, because if you have tried to attempt deep learning with TensorFlow, you see that it's actually quite difficult to use. You have to make these sessions and then control how these tensors, do all these things, and then how to backprop and and then calculate the laws, and it's very complicated. But if you know Keras, it's actually super easy, especially if you just build a sequential model. You can just call in the API, and then it will, you just need to tell Keras what the architecture of your neural network is, and then it will just build it for you. So, wow, maybe I can have something for scikit-learn that is like Keras for TensorFlow that is super easy. So, yeah. Okay, for those of you who don't know what is stacking, so this is the footnote attempting to explain stacking. So, in machine learning, you have different models. Let's say you have classifiers, and also you have regressors which do regressions, like all these ones here. There's like, let's say in this example, there's 3 of them, and then you have some training data. Usually they should be the same ones, right? You should use the same set of data to train these 3 models. And then in this layer 1, level 0, let's say this first layer, that each of them will give you some predictions of some sort. They may be a good prediction. They may be a bad prediction. But it doesn't matter, because we are trying to gather all these predictions and then use it to train another classifier to make a very good prediction. So this is what stacking is trying to do. So, so it, in some cases it's good, but in some cases it's not so useful. So if you have a lot of data, because, the data you train on the first layer, you may not want to use them again on the second layer. So you need quite a lot of data, and it takes longer as well because you have more things to train. So, it's not always, perfect. So in some cases it's a good way of doing it. So, talking about the tool that I want to build, as I said, I want it to be able to pip install. So how? Like, what does things come from when I do pip install? Like, why is like magic? Where do things come from? So actually it's coming from PyPI. So it's a repository. So it stores all the things that, if you import, let's say, when you pip install request or pip install dateutil, pip install pandas, all of them. Actually, some people put it on PyPI, and then when you type pip install in your command line interface, then it would just connect to this, and then it would download the project for you. You can specify the version, or you can just download the latest if you don't put in the versions. So this is how it works. And then, because now I know how it works because I upload something on it. Actually, it's quite dangerous as well, because if I'm a nice person, but if I'm a nasty person, I can put something, a malware in it, and then if you pip install it, it will be horrible for your computer. So be careful next time when you pip install. Make sure that you know what you're doing. So that's PyPI, right? So I want to create something. I'm a nice person. I create something that hopefully doesn't break your computer and is safe to use, and then you can download it. So also I want it to follow at least some of the practice in software development. So CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous development. So CI/CD, there is actually a lot of tools that on GitHub. It's a third-party tool. Of course, now GitHub has like a GitHub action that you can use. But the tradition is like there's this third-party service that's called Travis CI that you could use to it will create a lot of the different images. You can choose which one to test. You can choose like test on 3.7, test on 2.7. Like you can choose all of them, and then ask Travis whenever you make some changes and put it on GitHub. Make some changes. I put the code on GitHub, and then it will take your changes and then build a new package new version of your package, and then test it with their environment. So how many of you have used Travis before? Good. So I don't have to explain too much. So I'm making myself stupid here. So, Travis is amazing. And then, so also now, a friend of mine, also a contributor, helped me to, use a script to, do a coverage test as well. It'll pop up later. So that's why I mentioned it. And also, I want my library to be well documented because I really want people to use it. It's not just for my enjoyment. I really want people to use it. So I put I try to make the documentation nice. Try to later I will explain more in the doc string. Explain what's the input, what's the output of the function, and also use read the doc. It's a really good tool that you can host your documentation on their site, and then it's automatically built from your RSG files in your project. So it's very convenient. And to make it more convenient, that we have cookie cutter. Yay! So what is cookie cutter? Who has used a cookie cutter before? Good. So what is a cookie cutter? The name suggests that it's like a mold that you can make similar things, all the time, right? If you do a lot of development, you may see that, actually a lot of my projects, their structure is very similar. They all have like the app itself and then the test and then other things for the CI/CD or talks and whatever. So, so the cookie cutters is a tool that you can download and use it, and then you can make your own cookie cutter. But for this case, somebody already made one that's for Py packages that provide all the things that I want, like traverse, read the docs. So all you need is to run it. Of course, you have to download cookie cutter first, and then run it. And then it will ask you some questions. What's the name of the project? Like, who are you? And what's your, do you want to use PyTest and all these things? So, and after that, it will set up all the files for you. So I can show you my PicknMIx. This is my project. So it's on GitHub. And all these things, most of them, are generated using cookie cutter. So it will give you a setup.py, for a package that you can install with pip, you need the setup.py. You also have talks, which will build your testing environment for you, and you also have README, that is this one, very nice, generated. Also, it will have the contributing guide, all these things, license, you don't have to copy and paste from somewhere. And tests, everything, the docs, these are for the read the doc. So you can see that, all these RST file, read the doc will use them to build, a documentation, which I can also show you. Here, read the docs. This is built from all those RST files. So you can see the most you can have installation, tell people that how can you install them, but the most useful thing will be usage. So all these you have to write yourself though. You have to write some examples that how people can use your library. But you don't have to build a website from HTML or whatever, just there, yay. It's good, and it's they host it for you as well. So it's very, very good. Where were I? I was carried away. Sorry. Yeah. Let's go back. Okay. So yeah, it's very useful, powerful tool. Cookie cutter is here. If you want to take a look at it, cookie cutter Py package. So yeah. Next slide. Okay. So the journeys begin. I become a developer for free. I want to be a developer, but I want to get paid, but so far I haven't been paid, so yeah. I am, as I said, I wasn't, working as a developer before I was a data scientist. I am still a data scientist. I'm making a career change. Talk to me later. But if you're hiring. So I'm trying to do some TDD, which is test-driven development. So what happened is when you write the code, so, maybe I should also ask the audience who know or use TDD? Yeah? Okay, then I don't have to explain too much. Yeah. So at least I try. I try my best to write the test first and then don't write the code first, but I'm not I think practice makes perfect. So, I was kind of try to do it that way, but sometimes I was cheating, write the code first and, so I would try better next time. But I do create a lot of tests. It's actually, I feel like I spend more time writing the test than writing the code. But, the coverage of the tests, now, from that coverage, library that I use is tell me that 99% of the code are covered. Yay! But, there's one case that, is a negative case of one, method. So if you want to cover that case, there's a ticket open and, you're welcome to contribute. So go look for, contributors, please. And then, I'll write a lot of tests. And then also, I try to make sure the tests are well named because, you have a lot of them and you want to do want to know where they're doing and what they're doing. And when you have a test that fail, you would be able to know where is it failing, why is failing or what is failing. So, so make sure that usually I do is like I write the name of what I'm testing, like the method or which class or whatever. And then the case, is it like a case for testing it for, let's say, empty input, or let's say it's like input of a negative value or whatever. So yeah, make sure you label them. Also, documentation is very important. Again, as I said, you want people to use it, right? So, yeah, make sure that people can use it happily so they will keep using it or tell their friends to use it. Docstring is a must because people think, oh, I can Google documentation. Why do I have to read the doc? Why do I have to write docstrings? Because there are people who code on a plane or without internet. And that really helps when they can, you can read the docstring and understand what it does. When you can't Google, oh, please show me. I don't know. No. So yeah, comments, because people gonna contribute to your code. Some comments really help, especially you have a lot of funky logic, because I remember in DayStudio there's, the parser is a very complicated thing, and there's a lot of complicated logic there, and there are some really good comments that really helps me to understand what that check is doing. So yeah, make sure you have more documentation, and then also writing the example is very important. Recently I added quick start guide here. Actually, somebody write it for me because I got contributors. But I try to put it on the first page as well. So when people just come across your library, you will think that, they will think that, okay, what it does. And then, is it easy to install? Or do I have to have some prerequisite before I install? And what is it for? How can I use it? So they will have a brief idea of, is this library is for me? Is it for what I'm doing? So I try to make things in one page so people who came across just randomly would know it exactly what this is doing. Instead of, what is this? PicknMIx, it looks nice, and then I click on read the doc, and then I read the usage, and it's kind of, people would just forget about it, So make it easy for people. That's very important. Quick start guide. Thumbs up. Besides those, of course, there's coding. Your good code is very important. I refactor my code a lot of times because I don't like how things were designed and how, even though it's working, I don't like it to be put in that way, because I want it to be very well structured so people who want to contribute, when they pick up the project, it's very easy for them, very straightforward. There's only 2 classes, and then each class is doing different things, and then you can put them together. I want to make it very easy to understand. Try not to do ugly patching. I do it sometimes at work, and when you're sharing the code with everybody on the internet, you want it to look nice because everybody's going to see your code, and your future employer may also see your code. So, And then follow PyPage. At least I tried. I try my best. There are some tools to help you. You can use Black. Personally, I am still afraid that Black will change my code too much. And so I was, should I use it? Linting and use PicknMIx to check it. My PicknMIx report is horrible because I'm not doing very well. But, but at least try to follow PyPage so everybody can pick it up very easily. Yeah, so fun bit, marketing. So why do I say it's fun? Because you create these things, right? You spend, let's say, your whole weekend staying in your flat, in your basement, typing away and coding. Oh my God, it works. It's amazing. You want to tell everybody that you did that. So tell your friends. Use social media. I use Twitter, LinkedIn, even WhatsApp, and then my friends' mailing list. So tell your friends. Give live stream talk. I gave a live stream talk in PyData London, one of the meetups. And then what happened afterwards? Because at that time I don't have a logo. And I just, give a live stream talk, and very sneakily, I say, oh, I have this, by the way, I need a logo. So, and then people do come back to me. I got, one one person, I really have no idea how that came through, but one person's telling me, I have a friend, he or she is a graphic designer, and it's like, yeah, that person can help. I was like, whoa, great, really? Yeah, I can't believe myself. Yes. And then, I got a logo that is actually designed by this, designer, called, Agatha. You can see, the credits here. Oh, here. Yeah. So this is the designer. I need to give some credit. So I will show this designer's website. So it's very cool. Professional. So my logo is nice. So if you like it, go check out the website. So I got the logo, and then I made some stickers. So there are lots of company do stickers. I don't want to advertise for them, so I don't mention the name. But yeah, get some stickers. It's not too expensive. It's reasonable amount of money. Get reasonable amounts of stickers, and I give it to people. So I have some in my bag. Come talk to me afterwards if you want a sticker of PicknMIx. So come talk to me. Also, because I help organizing London Python sprints, I can recruit contributors because we have people who are keen to contribute together regularly. And then there will be people who want to contribute to some already well-known libraries like scikit-learn and pandas. But there are some people who are just curious and who want to try out and don't want to work on a super complicated, sophisticated project. Then I'll be like, come sit next to me. We can work on my project. So, yeah, but like everybody was having fun. My project is very, young and very easy to contribute. It's not complicated. So, yeah, so I welcome if you want to contribute, talk to me. And Hacktoberfest, you know what? Recently I got a lot of my issues, there are people sending pull requests to fix my issues because I put the label Hacktoberfest on it. I can show you. It's amazing. Like last year I was, participating in Hacktoberfest. I was contributing to, those like Data, scikit-learn, like Keras and all these, right? But this year I was like, okay, maybe I should give it a go. So I put some, tags on it, Hacktoberfest. And then actually, I can show you the closed ones. Actually, there are people who really found my library by the tag, and then they send a pull request. You see, like all these are closed because they're contributors that I haven't met. They are from the internet. Yeah, that's amazing. And then, if you want more stars and forks for your repo, that's a good way, of doing it. Hacktoberfest. I'm advertising for them because this is really amazing, and you can win a free T-shirt. Because just 4 pull requests in this month, and you got a free T-shirt. Why not? I already done it. I can show you. Please load. Oh, they're busy. Okay, 4 pull requests. I have a T-shirt coming soon. Almost there. Yeah. And join that, and they really helped me out. So it's really good. So what else I can do? I'm thinking you can also do that as well. Writing a blog post. Recently I started writing on Medium. I upload some workshops there. I think I could maybe create more other posts, like some write up for my talk maybe, or maybe I can, tell people about PicknMIx. So advertisement. At the same time, sometimes you got rewarded when you write a blog, so you can do that as well. Create more tutorials and talks. I did create some tutorials before for like building a chatbot or doing reinforcement learning. So maybe I could create a tutorial for machine learning for people who want to use stacking and try to sneaky use PicknMIx, and that could do as well. So you're doing something for the community, but you're also getting all these contributors and people who know about your libraries. Talks. I'm doing it now at PyConDE, so I put the logo there. I also thinking about now. There's you can see there's only like a handful of contributors, but if you go big enough, maybe you would consider having a community Slack like Keras. They have a Slack. Docker, they have a community Slack, so that's very good. Also, when you go big enough, then maybe you want to have more contributors, more maintainers, because like sometimes, I feel like I'm too busy. I don't want to reply to people on GitHub, or I don't want to read the pull requests. Then you need more people to help you if there's a lot every day, right? So maybe you can get people who contribute a lot to become a maintainer if they want. Also, you can create mentorship program, which I think is really good. You can, it's like a network, right? So you're here, you're the VDFL, and then you have all these like maintainers, and then they can have, more senior people that they mentor, and then you can have the beginners here. So it's like pyramid structure, well sustainable structure. So yeah. At the end, as I said, there's a lot of pull requests and all this stuff. I have to manage the project. Again, communication is very important when you manage the project. When you have all these issues that you want people to contribute, besides putting the tag Hacktoberfest there, you also need to write it, in a way that people understand what's the issues and how to fix it. Sometimes it's just a typo, but I would just write it there, and I could fix it in 1 minute, 2 minutes, but I would make it into a very easy, very obvious issues, put the tag there, good first issue, Hacktoberfest, or, help wanted. So people who never contribute or don't feel confident making pull requests, they could try that out, and you can get new contributors. And then usually you have to talk to people if they miss something or have a typo. You have to communicate nicely with them because they work for you for free. Also, you have to prioritize which issues are more important, what you can, like I said, tag it, write it, very clearly for people to do what you have to do it yourself. You have to really prioritize and organize. So, in GitHub, there's a project board. I won't show you at the moment, but you can check that out. Or use other things like Trello board or Go Garden, things like that. I always, encourage and acknowledge people to help me. You will have your name on the authors.rst, authors.rst, yeah. Maybe it's like too time consuming to, I can show you, okay. Yeah, here. Yeah. All these people help me out. They are lovely people. I love them. Acknowledge them and give them a lot of your love. I do everything for free, but it's very rewarding because I learn a lot in software development because I don't get a lot of opportunity to practice in my work, so I can do it in open source. I made lots of friends. I do have contributors that if they're in London, I'll invite them. Oh, shall we have a private sprint? Come to my flat and we will have food and drinks and work. I got inspired by a lot of people and by other projects as well. I'm a BDFL of my own project, so I feel good about myself. So, Benevolent Dictator for Life. So that's the title, for Guido, who created Python. But you created something, so you can say I'm a BDFL of my own project. Please start, yours now. And then, I know in this conference, people will join the Telegram, and I have created a Telegram group. So please take a picture, join it, and then we can discuss about, what I talk about, how to start your own project. If you have a young project that you want some help or get some ideas, opinion, we can talk there. I think I want to build a community there. So that's all. And
Thank you very much for the talk. We have a few seconds if somebody has a question. So is there a question? Yes, please.
Lucky one.
Here you go.
So how do you select issues for dev sprints, especially?
For the sprints? Yeah. You have to, again, prioritize what is important, what you want to get fixed before your next release. And also a mix of difficulties, more very easy first issue, because most of the people, they're new to your project. Maybe only a couple of them are more tricky ones that you got to have close attention to that person and work together. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think that's all the time we have. So let's have another round of applause.